Hey, Brian from Snake Bytes here. When you run a collection like this, probably one of the scariest things is when there's a disaster that happens that you literally have very little control over. Well, sure enough, it finally happened to us. That's what this show is going to be about. You're watching Snake Bytes. Obviously the roof got tore back, a lot of water damage. Water was just pouring in for a good 45 minutes or an hour. We were going crazy trying to sweep it out, bucket it out, shovel it out, doing whatever we could do, mainly to save the animals. We knew that there was going to be a lot of structural and cosmetic damage done to the building. There was nothing we could do about that, but we just wanted to make sure that the animals were going to be okay. And it's terrifying when you're looking around and every electrical outlet, every light bulb, every fan is pouring rain through the electrical outlet. Pouring water, leaking out of my fans. My ceiling lights are filled with water. There's water all the way on the floor, all over the place. Again, water dripping from the ceiling like crazy. My seams on my drywall all bubbling out, all the way down the whole room. Water on the floor. My electrical room, just pouring with water all down the electrical panels. The water on the floor all the way across. All the way full. This was about 2 or 3 inches of water all the way up here. All my supplies up here that are perishable or I'm sure ruined. All the ceiling came down here. You can actually see right outside through up that drain vent right there. See all the standing water up here, which is not only ruining my floor and my drywall, but also dripping to the basement. The bottom thing, ruining all that.
Well, I was just about to leave when Steve comes to me and says, well, I think you're not leaving, there's a tornado warning.
So I went back to take out some garbage and the sky was all green. So me and Chewy were gonna mess around with Kearney. We told him it was a tornado. And little did we know, we come back up here, I looked out the window again, it was pouring.
And all of a sudden the roof gets ripped off, water's pouring in, it's raining, I'm running around, we're sweeping water out. Oh man.
I run to the front, we all run to the front, and Chewy comes running like, the ceiling just went off, the ceiling just went off. We run back and everything was just flooded. I mean, it's like, you can't expect that to happen.
Yeah, after the huge storm hit, it's a lot of work here. I had to catch up on a lot of stuff. Meanwhile, I was helping it back with the flood. Psych! I was in Myrtle Beach on vacation in South Carolina. I was sitting by the beach, chilling, and the only swimming I was doing was in the ocean.
As soon as you think that life can't get any crazier or couldn't have more things to do, then something else happens, like, I don't know, the roof being ripped off your building.
My name's David Johnson. I work for Concraft Restoration Service. I work on the water tech side. We come in and we extract water, check walls for wetnesses, and if they're wet, we cut it out. I'm not into snakes. That's the problem.
Will you?
Yeah. No.
Come on. Hey. Just grab it right behind.
No. Not touching that thing, man. No.
Right behind the head.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. On this side, as you see, we had ceiling tiles that got wet. We had to remove. We had to remove baseboards along the wall, some drywall, because it was wet. So then we put blowers against it to blow to dry the inside of the wall out. Actually, when I first came in, I went on the roof and helped get the roof secured. And then I came into the building and started moving drywall and extracting water. It took us about, I would say, 5 hours to extract all the water. It was about 2-3 feet of water when we came in here.
Basically what happened was when the rainstorm hit, there were gusts of up to 85 miles an hour, literally right here at the edge of the building. The wind must have caught the roof and ripped the roof right down off. Every light fixture in here, every electrical, the floors, everything were just draining water down here. Ceiling's completely ripped. We're gonna have to replace the entire ceiling. A lot of our racks here got swelled up because of the water. And there's nothing more scary than to see all this electrical stuff and see water just pouring out of it. And you know, I've spent my entire life building to where I am now. I love this building and I love my collection more than anything. It was like the complete nightmare. I was looking around in shock, like, oh my gosh, everything I've worked for is going down. But fortunately, the crew and everyone else worked their butt off. I mean, they really did over what you could ever imagine to make sure that the animals were healthy and safe. We were moving stuff around that was getting wet. We had some animals that their cages were filling with water. We had to move them out really quick so that they were safe. And again, I can't thank the crew enough for all that they did. The biggest and most important thing is that all the animals were okay, and now it's just getting back to our normal life as best as we can during this massive clutter. On this week's Comment of the Week on the Snake Egg and Snake Bytes episode, the question was, what's your favorite team and what's your highlights and lowlights? Sam Rooney said,
You want to know what my favorite team is? The A-Team, baby. Woo! Quit your jibber jabber. Highlight when Mr. T pities the fool, sucker. Lowlights? There are none when you're part of the A-Team, baby. Woo!
That was a great comment. I gotta tell you, I loved the A-Team when I was young, so I'm all behind you on that one. Keep those creative comments coming to me, and I'm gonna feature you on a future episode.
All right, guys, Kyle's question of the week. Now, you see the craziness that we experienced at the shop when we got hit by that storm. I want to know what's the craziest, unexpected disaster that you guys personally experienced, whether it be a tornado, flood, hurricane, huge fight with your wife, whatever it might be. Text or video comment below. Let me know.
So there it is. That's basically the way I've spent the last 5 days of my life, putting the pieces back together the best I can. Fortunately, there were no animals harmed, and I've got my crew to thank for that. They really worked super hard to get as much water out of here as they could before the emergency contractors came. If it wasn't for those two groups, I'd be in big trouble right now. Thank you for watching. Until next time, this is Snake Bytes.